Traction Project logo, opera co-creation for a social transformation. The Project Traction has received funding from the European Commission Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Programme under Grant Agreement number 870610.
Hello, I am James Bingham. I'm a white male. I've got brown curly hair. I'm wearing a dark red jumper and I'm wearing glasses.
Who do you work for? What projects are you involved in? And what is your role within the project?
I work for Irish National Opera. I'm their studio and outreach producer. And as part of Traction, I will be the producer in the Irish trial.
What is INO's experience in co-creation?
Well, Irish National Opera as a company is actually only 2 years old. But in that time, we've run a number of projects that incorporate into them aspects of co-creation. One example was a project called Popera. Popera saw us work with music generation Carlo and the Royal Irish Academy of Music. And in this project, we worked with 4 primary schools and the composer Andrew Sinnott alongside a broader artistic team to create 4 operas. Now, these 4 operas were composed by the children in partnership with Andrew. And the children also performed as singers and as instrumentalists the pieces together in one performance. It was a huge success, and it was a real example of letting the children lead in that composition process and seeing something really interesting created through that process.
How will communities take part in the Traction project?
Through the trial in Ireland with Irish National Opera for Traction, we're going to be working with 3 different communities. One is the residents of the island of Inishmaan, which is part of the Aran Islands. We're going to be working in Tullamore, which is in the Midlands of Ireland, with secondary school students there. And we're also going to be working in Tallaght, which is a district just near Dublin, with residents living there. With these 3 communities, it's not entirely clear next year how exactly our engagement will manifest itself. That's because this year we're going to spend the time working and listening to communities to see what kinds of engagement will be of benefit and will be of interest to them in terms of opera co-creation. So this year we're running a series of workshops in each of these 3 communities, and in each community we're focusing on a different aspect of creation in opera because it's such an inherently multidisciplinary art form. In Tallaght, we're going to be looking at co-creation in a visual aspect, so how design can be created through digital technology and through virtual reality. We're going to be looking at co-creation of music in Tullamore, and then in Inishmaan we're looking at how we can create together a story in those kinds of ways. Now, based on the information that we learn over the course of this first year, as well as the exploration and understanding that we get through virtual reality technology, we're going to then build projects next year that really suit these 3 communities and are projects that are going to be of interest to these communities. The idea being that by the end of that project, each of these 3 communities will have generated material that will be of use to our creative team to shape and create a cohesive whole work that can exist in the virtual reality format.
How will the final opera be experienced by its co-creators and audience?
The final piece itself is going to be presented in 2022. First, it will be shown to all 3 communities in special events, and then we're going to tour it round to as many places in the country as possible. The really great thing about a virtual reality opera is because it all exists on a virtual reality headset, you can really take it to any kind of public space. For more information on this project, if you're curious to learn more, please head to irishnationalopera.ie. Thank you very much.
Logos DCU, Vicomtech, CWI, UAB, SAMP, Irish National Opera, Francois Matarasso, Virtual Reality Ireland, Liceu, and Traction. Disclaimer: the information and views set on this presentation are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official opinion of the European Union. Neither the European Union institutions and bodies, nor any person acting on their behalf may be held responsible for the use which may be made of the information contained here. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International.